So, hello, new team members and recruiters. Welcome to Park Lane. Welcome to our team. My name is Michelle Zito. I am a company vice president here at Park Lane. And so far, those of you on the live are actually in our part of the organization. Those of you watching a playback might be in part of the larger Mary Grace organization. So I am located on Long Island in New York. Our team is a coast-to-coast team. So no matter where you live, there's probably other park laners near you that you can network with and that you can work with to build your area, because there is not one single area of the United States that we're like, yeah, we have enough people there. Not one. There's not a place that we don't have enough people. So Mary, I know Mary's in the Springfield, Missouri area, which is great because it's an area that does absolutely need building up, but is pretty close to Mary Grace. So actually Mary's going to be able to attend stuff at Mary Grace's. So like last night's webinar was a little short notice. She only just joined. But she'll be able to go to that meeting if she so chooses. And she does live near like Jeff Broussard Sims and Michelle Rickman and stuff. So at least a couple of people nearby, but yet please go build the area. Now, Jessica, are you near Jennifer in Fresno area or no?
No, how many hours apart are we? 4?
5. Yep.
5.
Okay, but in California as well?
Yeah, in California as well. Yep.
So what part of California are you?
I'm in Redding, California, which is about 2.5 hours north of Sacramento.
Wow, you named 3 places and I still don't know where that is, but okay.
Almost to Oregon.
Oh, yeah. So really north. Okay.
2.5 hours south of Oregon.
Oh, okay.
You saw in the news this summer where a lot of fires were.
Yeah. We definitely know fires. Okay. Well, actually now I'm remembering that Jennifer put that as part of your introduction, that you're in Northern California, and correctly pointed out that you will be pretty much our only Northern California person, which is awesome. So you are sitting on a pile of money right there. So we're going to get Northern California blinged up with you. Right. Juanita, I believe Juanita is Ashley's recruit, right? Excellent. Ooh, this is a good night. We got a whole screen full of people that are our team. I love it. And again, some of you are maybe watching back the replay and people may still join on. But regardless, I am so thrilled to welcome you to our team. Important to know that this call takes place on Tuesday nights. And the reason we do it this way is so that tomorrow when you tell your cousin, oh my gosh, I'm selling Park Lane, I'm so excited, and they say, that sounds fun, tell me more about that, and maybe they want to join, they're going to get the exact same training as you next Tuesday night. Now, next Tuesday will actually probably be someone else doing it because I'll still be on the incentive trip with the company, but this is a scripted call that one of the other leaders can do. So I'm going to, see who can fill in for next week so that we don't miss the rotation and that the training still takes place, because it's super important that everyone in the team gets the same information in a consistent manner. So we are ready for you in every way. Something important to know, even just with joining our team in general, is that it is totally okay to join the team of somebody who's in Park Lane on this team for like 5 minutes. And that applies to you, the brand new people. So Jessica, you're brand new. You've not, I assume, done direct sales before, but even if you have, you're 2 minutes into Park Lane, and somebody can join with you and still be confident to join the team because you're not responsible for training a new person. Jennifer's your recruiter. She's a division leader. She runs the whole show over there in California, and she will be responsible for the training, the answering of the questions, all of that, and will take part in all the same trainings that you will. And that's what makes you able to promote and build quickly, being on a team where people have correct information and good answers. So tonight's Zoom here, we're going to be focusing on our Rich Rewards program. And this is the program that allows you to add free jewelry to your kit every single month, as well as discounted catalogs. As well as how to introduce your friends and family successfully to your Park Lane business. And that would, of course, include having a fun and successful launch party. So I hope that you are able to take notes. Now, there's going to be parts of this where we talk about where it's actually like a script. You don't have to try to write down a whole script. I'm going to tag you in where the scripts are, but there's other parts that probably you'll find helpful taking some notes. So, all right, so I pretty much see everybody, we got kind of everybody introduced here. So we're gonna continue right on. So Park Lane is super generous. They know that we never have enough jewelry. We always want more. There's always something new. We always want to be enhancing our kit, enhancing our personal collection. But wouldn't it be terrible if we had to use all of our pay to do that? Now, other companies may do that because they want to make their customers, their field be their customers, but Park Lane has no interest in us being customers. They want us to be out there selling. So that's why we have what is called the Rich Rewards program. So I'm going to just do a screen share to show you where this brochure is. And I say this every week, wouldn't it be smart if I already had it open and ready? But I suppose it's good to show you where it is anyway. So I'm going to open up the Park Lane website. If you've never signed into the Park Lane website before, it's your email address and then whatever password your leader set up for you. So when we go to the field interface, all the important stuff that you would be looking at, certainly in the beginning, is here. So the network, this is the monthly company newsletter. So every special that's going on for the month is here. Any promotion, any signing thing, there's great ideas month to month of, did you know that March 3rd is National Brownie Day? And then you can do like a little brownie theme party on that day. There's all kinds of fun stuff that goes on here in training and whatnot. So that is a place that you're allowed to click, because here's the thing. I'm going to just quick show you like the only places that you should look, because you could come here and start clicking things and not come out until 2022. We can't have that. There's only a few things that you need to know in the beginning. That's one of them. It's so funny. I swear I need like a second camera that's showing where I'm pointing to, because here I'm pointing to what you're allowed to look at, but you can't see that. So the network is one of them. This is information about convention. So put the July 18th to the 20th on your calendar. It is in Chicago. It's like the greatest 2 days ever. And we have so much fun. You get to live in a Park Lane bubble and pretend like you're in a sleepover in middle school, except you learn all about your new business and laugh and get to have drinks. So it's amazing, and we would love for you to come. So just these things are the main things to know. So these are all good. But what we're going to take a look at, we're going to go to the downloads for a moment and pull up the Rich Rewards Club brochure. So this is the brochure section, Rich Rewards Club brochure in English. Okay, so you can actually print this out once and never have to do that procedure again, and you'll have in front of you all the time what the Rich Rewards program is. It is 6 levels of ways to earn free jewelry. 4 are sales-based, 2 are team-building-based. So level 1 is when you submit $1,000 in sales in the first 2 weeks of a month, then you get to pick out $250 worth of jewelry of your choice. Now, we have to take a short break here so that I can explain what a week is in Park Lane world. Okay, so if you have an actual paper calendar in front of you, or if you just want to pull up the calendar function on your phone, so give yourself a little bit of a visual. The last Wednesday of a month is the last day of that month in Park Lane world, which means that going back to February, the last day of February in Park Lane was February 27th. Which means that the first day of March in Park Lane world was February 28th. So the first week of March started February 28th and ends tomorrow, March 6th. And then week 2 is March 7th to the 13th. which means that to achieve level 1, if you put in sales of $1,000 between February 28th and March 13th, you'll get to pick out $250 worth of jewelry. So if you are in front of your calendar, I would put a note on March 13th that says Rich Rewards Level 1. This is something that if you're, again, everybody that's on the call, I think right now is our organization. We track this on the team page. I tag people as they achieve it, and we keep this way in front of you because to be able to pick out $250 worth of jewelry every month is a really fantastic enhancement to your kit. Now, every other level, you have the whole month to do. That's just the only one that is just to help you get your business off to a good start early in the month, because you don't have to sit around and wait till the end of every month to put in your orders. We encourage you to start early. Okay, so level 2 is how you can get extra catalogs, because with sales of $1,500 in the whole month, and again, so to continue on through what is March 14th to the 20th is the 3rd week, and then March 21st to the 27th is the 4th and final week. So March in Park Lane World ends March 27th, and then March 28th would begin our April specials. Okay, so sales of $1,500 in the Park Lane month, you get to do buy one, get one free catalogs. And what that means is when you place an order for 20, you actually receive 40. Park Lane allows you to divvy up your order in any way. There's no such thing as packs of catalogs. So if you need to order 17 catalogs, then get 17. Well, actually, I think 20 is the minimum. But you can order literally like 23 English catalogs and 2 Spanish if that's what you want to do. You don't have to buy a pack of Spanish catalogs if you just want to keep 1 or 2 on hand. Because, you know, people, sometimes you don't really realize who has Spanish-speaking relatives, and I just find it's really great to keep 1 Spanish language catalog depending on your area and your clientele. So level 3 is your designer jewelry. Every month that you sell $2,500, you get to receive the ensemble of the month. The ensemble of the month can be anything from a necklace to a bracelet and earrings to just earrings. It can be any combination of things. It's usually in the vicinity of $100 value, and it becomes available usually the month after. So in the month of March, we have this beautiful new necklace coming out, Je T'aime, and on April 1st, which will really actually be like March 28th, it will become available. They'll let us know the price, and you can start showing it in real life as soon as you receive it in the mail. You can start posting photos of it right away. Level 4 is when you do $4,000 in sales over the course of the whole entire month, you get another $300 in jewelry. So look at how smart you can play your cards, because if your first 1,000 went in those first 2 weeks and then you proceeded on to the 4,000, you're getting 300 plus 250, so that's 550, the value of your catalogs, and the approximately $100 or more or a little less possibly value of your ensemble of the month. That's a lot of jewelry. And we didn't even build any team yet. If you have 2 team members join your team in the month and go on to qualify with their 1,000, you get to pick another 300, and when you have 4, you now get another for a total of 600 for team building. They do get their full 5 weeks to qualify, so if you recruited somebody on March 26th and their launch went in, and if they didn't qualify in March, you still have April to qualify them. You'll just come back to your March Rich Rewards once they have qualified to go ahead and claim those pieces. So in actuality, in some of these things, you get more than a month to achieve them. So everything's cumulative, and it really allows you to keep your kit fresh, to be generous with your jewelry. If any of you have hosted with the person recruiting you, which actually based on distance, I'm thinking maybe has not happened, but regardless, when we do shows, you know, even a Facebook party, we send like a little gift. I send Encore earrings all the time to people who book shows with me. They're $18 earrings, and people love receiving them in the mail. They look certainly more expensive than $18, but I don't have to buy them every time. I just always make sure I put a few pairs of those earrings or Milana earrings, things like that, on each Rich Rewards order. Then I throw something in my kit that I haven't been showing or haven't shown in a while, so that when I do a show with the same crowd, with some overlap crowd from the show before, they're not going to see the same exact thing. So it's just fun to have all of this at your disposal without it costing you all of your commission. Okay, we've now reached the part of the class where I opens up my calendar, close my calendar, opens it up again, and somewhere in doing so, all the notes for the call get lost. Every single week, every single Tuesday, this happens. Dude, seriously, where did... Oh my God, what is happening? You too can be a company vice president at Park Lane and run conference calls all day long and have people...
While you're looking, Michelle, I'm gonna fill the
Please
moment.
Please, Ruth.
I was just gonna mention too that even though like today is the 5th, right? Is today the 5th? Yes, today is the 5th. To have, if you are looking at your calendar and wanting to schedule your launch, to do something quickly so that you can still qualify for that level 1 Rich Reward is certainly very doable. On lots of occasions, I've turned around launch shows within a matter of just 3 or 4 days even. Because if people know they're free, then they know they're free. And so to be able to, get girls together to make that happen, it's very much doable for those of you that are needing to pick a launch date still, that it's totally doable to still make that all happen by the 13th as well.
Agreed, and thank you. Because yes, you can certainly even collect orders on your own, share the link. So yes, feel free to absolutely do that. That is really good advice. And it took me almost that whole time to find the notes. So thank you, Jen. All right, so let's jot down some numbers. First, I would like you to write down 12 to 15 average orders. 12 to 15 average orders. Then write down $1,000 in sales. And then finally write down $300 in commission. Now, because you're smart, I'm betting that you have figured out that what these numbers mean is when you collect 12 to 15 average orders for your launch party, and I know that you all know 12 to 15 people that have a neck, then you can expect you'll have about $1,000 in customer orders, which will give you $300 in commission approximately. So does that sound good? Okay, good, because that's not just your launch party that applies to, but actually every show that you ever do. It would be completely normal and doable for you to earn $300 each time you leave the house. It is completely normal for hostesses to receive that double free credit every show. It's just a matter of us focusing on it and helping them achieve their goals. So having a successful launch that your leader or a leader is probably doing with you in some form is important to starting your business off strong and making sure that you have business that will extend beyond your family and friends. I'm in direct sales for 19 years, and imagine I was only selling to my family and friends all this time. They would have excommunicated me from the family, nobody would be speaking to me, and I wouldn't be invited anywhere on Christmas. So it is, we go beyond our family and friends as fast as possible. So there are 3 steps that will make your launch party extremely successful. Step 1 is to have 2 launch parties, and at that party, to over-invite and invite everyone. That's all the same step. 2 launch parties, over-invite and invite everyone. Step 2 is to invite using multiple methods and to know what to say when doing that inviting. So to know what to say and to invite using multiple methods. And step 3 is to fill your calendar with shows so that you get practice and earn your rich rewards. So, of course, now we're going to go over each of those 3 steps. Okay, so step 1, have 2 launch shows, over-invite, and invite everyone. I do highly recommend that you have 2 launch shows. One with the leader that's doing the launch show with you, assuming that that's happening, and then one shortly after on your own. Now, this will do a few things for you. Number 1, it helps your invitations to, you get more bang for your buck as you're inviting people. Because let's say you're doing Friday night and then you're doing Sunday afternoon. If someone says, oh, I can't come Friday night, Mikey always has basketball, you're going to say, oh, no problem. I'm also doing a brunch party on Sunday. I would love for you to come to that one. So now they've been given an alternative, all in the same phone call or in the same text exchange, not that you're going back for a round 2. Okay, it allows you to make the corrections and the practice and to say the things that you heard at your launch quickly, right? When you're teaching, I'm sure many of you have taught a child how to ride a bike or any other new skill. And if you were out front running up and down your block teaching them how to ride the bike on a Friday, and the next time you tried it again wasn't for another 3 weeks, it's doing it from scratch all over again. There's no room for corrections. There's no room for remember, don't lean to the side. Remember, don't, okay? That will happen much better if the next time is much, much sooner. The same applies to this. You're going to hear things. You're going to probably take some notes. I did a launch party just this past Sunday or Saturday. And I was so excited that my girl had notes. She had paper. She had a pen. She wrote down the letters for the letter game. I was like, yes, this is somebody who wants to remember things and who's going to be ready to do her next show on her own because she took some notes. So just super helpful. And here's the thing. Only about 1/3 of who you invite will come to any given show. This applies to your launch and every show moving forward. You'll think half are coming. But there's a big difference between, yes, I'm coming, and where do I put my coat? There's a little disconnect there because that's not accounting for the kid who throws up as the mom's about to walk out the door to attend the show, the husband that got stuck in traffic, the train that got derailed and now the railroad's all messed up. All these things prevent people from getting home on time and therefore getting to your show. So with that being the case, if you invite 30 people, you'll have 7 to 10 people show up, which is pretty good. But listen, the show that you're going to have the leader there doing it with you, get as many people there as you can, because that person is experienced and is going to wow the pants off of your friends. They're there to get you bookings. We're working for you at a launch, right? So we are there to wow your friends and family with the jewelry, to get them to feeling so excited that they're going to want to place a good order, which will build your first commission check. It's going to accumulate your orders to get you a big hostess rewards to enhance your kit. And they're all going to want to have to book a party so that they can get so much more jewelry, and they're just going to really want to help you out by hosting. They may even want to join your team. That's all the things that we are trying to get going for you at your launch show. So as you're building that list, we're not prejudging people. So what I mean by this is when you're like, I'm not inviting Sue, she has no money. You're inviting Sue because Sue may decide that she wants to book a show. She may decide that she wants to join your team, all because she doesn't have the money to join, to make the purchase. Also, somehow people have money for what they want to have. So she may not go grocery shopping on Friday because she wants a necklace really bad. That's her choice, okay? So that's why we're inviting Sue. If you're like, oh, not inviting, and she's too busy. Busy people manage to somehow get the most done. So let's not eliminate her from a fun evening. If she can't come, she'll let you know. And do invite your neighbors, because you know what happens when you don't invite your neighbors. They're looking outside. They see the cars. They see the women. They might even see other women they know from the neighborhood showing up. And now they're like, oh, Jessica's having company. She didn't invite me. Now you became that girl that didn't invite the neighbors. And plus, do you know how great the neighbor guests are? They don't cancel because it's bad weather, because they're only walking across the street to come, especially if you live somewhere cold. If it snows, they're still coming. If it's rainy and nasty, they're still coming. They get to have wine and stumble back home across the street. So also, if you're newish to the neighborhood, guess what? They're coming because they want to see inside your house. They're nosy, and this is their first opportunity. So let them in with their Visa cards and let your leader wow them, okay? Just let them decide. Now, you can absolutely still invite your out-of-state friends and family, out of the area friends and family, because, yeah, they're probably not taking a road trip, but they absolutely can order from the link that will be provided for your launch show, and then you'll be able to have the, the orders applied to your show online. So, quick aside here. Have any of you received a 5% raise at your regular job anytime recently? 5%? Usually there's a chuckle with those shaking of the heads, because it's kind of an amount that's a lot, right? Like, I don't even know that CEOs get 5% raises. But guess what? Those of you that are starting as fashion directors actually are able to give yourself a 5% raise really pretty fast here at Park Lane. So, when you're a fashion director, when one person joins you in this business, and very often, the most common thing with new team members is that one person is a friend or a family member. Because it's finally like your dream come true. Remember, like when you were a teenager and you got a job and all your friends were like, are they hiring? Can I get a job with you? Wouldn't it be so fun to work together? In my high school, we all worked at Sears. There was a Sears up the block. I worked in the paint department of Sears because my best friend worked in the paint department at Sears. So now, as an adult, 46-year-old woman, I know a freakish amount about paint that I learned when I was a 16-year-old girl. And I have friends that worked in hardware, curtains, you name it. All of Holy Trinity High School worked at Sears because we all got our friends' jobs. My son does it now. And as adults, it's no different. You have friends say, hey, you know anybody that's hiring if they're in the same field as you? And then it's always like, oh, I don't know. Guess what? Your answer now is, yes, let's do this together. I would love for you to join my team. This would be so much fun. We should totally be doing this together. It is teenage years, but as adult grown women with far better money and a much more fun product. I don't have to sell paint anymore. Now I get to sell jewelry and drink wine with all the friends that want to join. So it is amazing. So here's the way that you get that raise. Step one is you sell $1,000 in sales in some Park Lane month. So we're going to shoot for March for all of you that are not already launched. Some of you may have already done this back in February, depending on when your launch was. But this is one of about 1 million reasons why we like your launch to just go in at 1,000. Because you will not only get a $300 plus paycheck to defray the cost or cover the cost of your kit, but you're now ready to promote to branch, because part 2 is your recruit sells 1,000 in their first 5 weeks. But guess what? We're really wanting them to do their 1,000 in their first show also, because we also want her to be ready to promote to branch. So our organization's focus is generally like, we want launches going in at 1,000. We help you every step of the way to make it happen so that you're ready to promote to branch. She's going to promote to branch. And then she's going to promote to branch. And as we continue to make that happen, you're going to move up to area. But what that does is give you a 5% raise. And you're going to go up from your 30% commission to 35%. Now, just as a quick math thing, if you were to do a $600 party today as a fashion director, you would make a $180 paycheck. Now, that's pretty awesome, right? You're gone for like 3 hours, $180. There's people who work a full, like, part-time week at Target and don't even make that, right? But if you were a branch and you had gotten that raise, you would have made $210. Now, times that, how many shows in a month? You're talking about like $100 to $200 extra dollars, $300 extra, depending on how many shows you're doing in a month. That's like doing a whole extra show and not even leaving the house for it. Okay, so what's going to happen is now that you start sharing your business with your family and friends, there are going to be people that ask you some questions. And again, knowledge is not important. All that's important is enthusiasm. Yes, we should totally do this together. My friend Jennifer is the one answering all of my questions. I would love for her to answer your questions too. Would it be okay if she gave you a call tomorrow? That's what Jessica is going to say. My friend Jennifer is the one who answers all my questions. I would love for her to give you a call and answer yours too. What would be a good time tomorrow? And then you're going to text Jennifer as fast as your fingers will take you. Call her up, whatever. She will take care of that. Mary is my recruit. Mary's going to say, oh my gosh, we should totally do this together. My friend Michelle is the one answering all of my questions. She's really nice and she's not pushy. Would it be okay if I had her give you a call tomorrow? See, I didn't tell you that part for Jennifer because Jennifer's mean and pushy. Only I'm not pushy and nice. So this is the enthusiasm is all that it takes. You do not need knowledge, only excitement. Okay, so having said that, you're also allowed to think up front of who you would like to have join you in this. As I'm talking, are you saying to yourself, maybe I should call my cousin Sue. Maybe I should talk to that mom at the bus stop. Maybe I should think about that former team member. Whoever you're thinking of, jot the names down all the time as you think about them. That notes app in your phone is so helpful. Think of a name, jot it down so that you can get with your leader and say, hey, I thought of somebody. What would be a good thing to say? But that's how we're going to help you get your very first raise. And I love it. It's almost like a little race. It's like, okay, we have 4 brand new people on today's call. Who's going to get to their first recruit first? We'll make a little contest out of it. But as you're thinking, who loves fashion? Who loves jewelry? Who recently lost their job? Who's had their overtime or their husband's overtime reduced? Wants to get out of an apartment and into a house? These are all people that are great candidates to try out our business. Okay, so be in touch with us with that. That is never annoying. If you texted us every single day from now till eternity with, hey, I have another person, you would not be bothering us. Our building the team is our number one thing that we want to help you do. Okay, so that was step 1, which is to do the 2 launch parties, invite everyone. It just took a little longer because I also talked about getting a raise. So let's move on to step 2, which is to invite using multiple methods and to know what to say. Okay, so the most successful new team members with the most successful launches invite using several of the following methods. They make phone calls. They send out texts individually to the people that they want to invite. They use Facebook Messenger individually to people that they want to invite. They might even send an evite or some sort of email invitation. They may use a Facebook event. And they actually might use paper invitations that they stick in the neighbors' mailboxes or that they actually lick a stamp and put in a mailbox and send out so people get something in the mail besides a bill. But all of these are ways that we can invite people to the show. What will be the death of your party is any of the following. Number 1, death of your party, only using a Facebook invite. A tiny fraction of people see it. And if they don't see enough action in there, if they don't see RSVPs coming in, they're not coming, they forgot, there's no excitement or anything special about it. Group text is the number 1 death of your party as well. Because here's what happens, and you should know this as you start to invite people to your show. The no's come first, because when people look at the calendar and see a legitimate conflict, they get back to you right away with that, right? So, hey, I'm having a show. I'm having my launch party on the 23rd. Hope you can come. And they look at the 23rd and they're like, oh, that's my cousin's bridal shower. They're going to answer right away so that they can get that off their plate, right? And they're going to respond back, oh, it's my cousin's bridal shower. I'm so sorry. I can't come. Now, what about when you do that in a group text? Now, all the other 30 people know that this one's not coming. And that the next one's not coming who has back to school night, and the next one's not coming who has the karate tournament. And all of a sudden it becomes, oh, no one's going to that. Now people who would have totally come are making up stories of why they can't come because it looks like it's not happening. So we do not group text. Plus, how annoying is a group text? I used to dread cheerleading season because it meant the ramp up of the group cheer text. And every single person who, oh, Emma can't come to practice because she sprained her pinky. Feel better, Emma. Oh, did she go to the orthopedist? Oh, feel better. Hope she's okay. 92,000 texts now about Emma's friggin' pinky I have to endure while I'm trying to work. No, let's not be blowing up people's phones about that you can't come, somebody can't come to your launch because they have a proctology appointment, all right? We don't need to know this. So let's just keep it all separate, all right? It's also not special. I want to say, hey, Jessica, I would love for you to come to my show. I know you love beautiful necklaces. I've seen you wear so many. I would love to get your opinion on the ones that Park Lane has so I know what to put in my kit. Are you able to come? Doesn't Jessica feel so much more special hearing that than just being part of a group text saying, hey, everybody come to my house? So you can only do that through personal invitations. So what are we saying? You're going to say, you know, hi, Sue, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I decided to start a business with Park Lane Jewelry. Are you familiar with Park Lane? Now, of course, you pause and have the appropriate conversation. Either they have or they haven't, right? One way or another, you're saying something to the effect of, oh my gosh, isn't the jewelry beautiful? It has every price point and every style, and it's been around for so long. It's just a fabulous company. I'm having a get-together on the 23rd to launch my business, and I would love to have you here to get your opinions on the pieces that are coming in my kit. Are you free that night to join us? And then just get the RSVP. People know what they're doing a week and a half to 2 weeks from now. This is why you don't need to plan a launch for April 19th today. And to give you an idea of how preposterous that would actually be, what would happen if I called up Jen? Imagine we lived in the same place, and I said, hey, Jen, that movie Green Book looks really good. Do you want to go see that on April 27th? She'd be like, I don't know. Like, what? I don't know what I'm doing April 27th. Who makes plans to go to the movies 2 months away? 2 months away is when you invite someone to something much more involved than a jewelry get-together. It's not a wedding. So we can invite someone to next Saturday, to next Friday, to, you know, March 20th. But it definitely should not be further out than March because there's no reason, because those RSVPs of yes, there is way too many things that can occur between March 5th and March 27th that are going to turn yeses back to nos. So we want to not do it too far away. So if they say that they can come, then you're going to say, oh, great, I'm so excited. I'm actually going to text you an official invitation that you could forward on to anybody that you'd like to bring. Please bring along another jewelry lover because I really want to get a lot of opinions so that I pick out the right kit. The bring a friend is the greatest guest in the room. So to get back to what I was saying before about inviting your neighbors, I'm going to tell you a true story about my launch. So at my launch show was coming and I'm like, oh, I know people are canceled. Let me just make sure that, let me send out some extra invitations. So I texted my one neighbor who I would see every once in a blue moon at the bus stop with the kids. She texted at the end of the week as it was getting closer, hey, I would love to come on Saturday. I'll see you then. And I was so excited because she wasn't like a super close friend of mine or anything. She was a neighbor and I was psyched that she would come. The day of, she texted me, would it be okay if I invite my aunt, if I bring my aunt and my sister? I was like, yes. Oh my gosh. So now I'm having 3 guests that I barely know come to the house. Not only did they come, they all 3 placed large orders. And her sister is still one of my top VIP customers 5 years later. In fact, not only did Melissa spend $200 with me again last week after having spent $200 with me 2 weeks before that, I couldn't believe how full circle this was. She was on a Facebook Live with me recently and then texted me after, is it okay if I forward that party link to my aunt? The same aunt she brought to the launch. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, of course, and tell her I say hi. I mean, you just never know, because when people are asked to bring a friend to a party, think about this. If you were invited to a candle party, you would think to yourself, who do I know that likes candles, right? And you're going to bring that friend that every time you come to her house, it smells like some sort of seance going on, or she loves all of those scented candles and stuff in her house. That's who you're going to bring. You're not going to bring the person whose son and husband have 100 allergies to smells, because they're not going to buy candles. So when you tell them to bring a friend, they're going to bring their blingy friends. And they're not there out of any obligation. They are there because they love jewelry and no other reason, which is fantastic. We want them there. Now, if they say no, that they can't come, you're going to say, oh, okay. Well, first, of course, you're going to say, I'm also having one on Sunday. Does that work? Or whatever, the second day is. But then you can say, okay, now part of my job is to show the pieces that I got and get some practice and get my friends and family's opinions on all of our jewelry and programs. Would it be okay if I stop by one day next week to show you everything in person and see if you can set up a personal appointment? That's what we call those, personal appointments. So the general rule is going to be, if they can't come to me, I'm going to go to them, okay? So if they say yes, then you get to show up to their house, to Starbucks, to a bar, to Dunkin' Donuts, whatever works, and you're going to do a little mini show version. You're going to do some rollers. You're going to explain the sale. You're going to hold aside all the pieces that they like. You can show them if they were to purchase these two at regular and this one at half, they could get a bonus item, all kinds of fun stuff. Chances are they're going to order, they're going to book a party, or they're going to ask you about the business, or any combination thereof. Personal appointments are a fantastic avenue for this business, because people love when it takes place at their house. You'll see what happens. They're like, oh, I just got a new blouse. And before you know it, they're running upstairs to their bedroom and bringing it down and saying, does that match this? And you're actually doing like a little style appointment with someone, which is a wonderful service to a busy woman. Okay, so do you feel like some of those words or all of those words are doable and things that you could say and do? Excellent. All right, so let's go on to step 3. And step 3, remember, is to fill your calendar with the number of shows that you want to do. But I do suggest try to do like 2 a week for a couple of weeks in the beginning. Set up 6 shows over the next month to 6 weeks. Even if that's a little more than ultimately you'd like to be doing, give yourself the practice to enjoy the business. Like I said before, when I was making the analogy to the bike riding, when you do 2 shows and then the following week you do 2 shows and then the following week you do 2 shows, you're getting in a groove. You're getting into a routine. The words start flowing out. You get to start joking around with the guests. And because Park Lane pays weekly, you're now getting a paycheck every single week. So if you have any kind of person in your household that's going to be looking like this, they're like, oh, what is she doing now? Because if you've tried other direct sales companies, sometimes there's a little skepticism that the spouse or the other family members bring along with them. You're going to have 3-4 weeks of paychecks in a row to show that are going to far exceed what you spent on your kit. You're going to have bookings on your calendar. You're going to have so much jewelry that you earn to enhance your kit. And you're going to be in the groove and give yourself the gift of practice and comfort. If you decide at that point you want to dial it down, feel free. But I bet you're going to find it a lot easier to do 2 shows a week than to do 2 shows a month. Because 2 shows a month is a lot harder to maintain, because God forbid one of them cancels and now you're scrambling and you don't have another show to meet other people. So get yourself in that habit. So what you can do actually as you're inviting people to your launch is you can ask some, if not all of those people before inviting them to your launch, ask them if they would like to be one of your first hostesses. And just say, really simple, I'm looking for 2 super fun people that can help me get started in my business just by having a couple of friends over to practice and see the jewelry. You'll be rewarded with a tremendous shopping spree for doing so, and I would so appreciate the help. Would you be able to have either one of the big ones I need to have or one of the little ones? Because you need like a big gathering and a little gathering. Of course, you don't care how many people are ultimately there. We need small practice. We need big practice. Some people feel that a small gathering is 10, and some people feel that a large gathering is 10. So rather than place numbers on someone, let them decide. And once you start explaining that 10 orders gets double free credit, most of them will work towards getting people there. So if they say that they will have a show, then you just want to get a date written on the calendar. Because what happens is you're obviously here trying to book March, right? So if you say, okay, awesome, when do you want to have it? And let that hang out there like a big lead balloon, they're going to look at their whole March calendar and then be like, oh my gosh, all right, so I have this on this day, I have this on this day, and they're starting to look at conflicts that have nothing to do with your party. So really what I suggest is giving people 2 options at a time. So let's say you're going to be able to do some shows on weekdays and some shows on weekends. You can start with, okay, fantastic, thank you so much, Jen. Now, were you thinking of having it on a weekday or a weekend? Okay, now they're going to assess that first, right? And they're going to say, you know what, during the week is sometimes a little crazy. I think I'll do a weekend. Okay, great. On weekends, I do like brunch and bling as a daytime party, and I do girls' night out at night, which is better. And they're like, ooh, okay, a brunch sounds fun. Okay, great. I have Saturday the 16th and I have Sunday the 24th, which is better. Now what she does is she looks at the 16th and she looks at the 24th. And if there are no conflicts on one of those 2 days, she's picking one of those 9 times out of 10. And she's not worried about that Tuesday the 12th is parent-teacher night and that the concert is on the 7th and that the dance rehearsal is on the 29th, because none of those are a weekend day. So 2 choices, 2 choices, 2 choices. Now, if you're only offering shows on weekends, then you get to say, would you like a Friday night or did you want Saturday, Sunday? I think I'd like a Friday night. Okay, I have the Friday the 22nd and I have Friday the 15th, which is better. If you employ this technique early on where you're giving 2 options at a time, you will find that you get people on the calendar. If not, you are, and this is including at a show, this is how we book people on the phone, via text, all of this is how we get people written on the calendar. Otherwise, if you just say when, they're gonna hang up saying, let me look at my calendar, let me talk to my friends, I'll get back to you. Their friends cannot answer without a date. Because otherwise they're going to go to their friends and say, oh, I'm thinking about having a jewelry party. The friends can, all they can say is, okay, I'll think about coming. Like you have to give them a date so that they're saying, oh, I'm super excited. I booked a jewelry show. I'm having her come over on Friday the 23rd. I would love for you to come. And then the friend can answer. Okay, so doing the 2 options at a time really, really is going to be successful for you to get it on the calendar. If they say no, they can't host, then you invite them to your launch. If they say they can't come to the launch, you're seeing if you can stop by one day next week for an appointment. So you're getting the most out of each transaction. So normally, if they've said no to hosting, no to coming to your launch, they'll at least let you stop by one day next week with the jewelry. However, I do want you to be aware that sometimes they're going to say no to that too. And sometimes it's surprising, right? Because it's your mom or it's your sister or it's your best friend. And you're like, what the heck? I would have had the party if it was her. It is okay, because this business brings you no's, and you've said no to plenty of things, right? Can you bake cupcakes for the PTA? No, I'm sorry. Can you drive Johnny home from chorus? Oh, no, I'm sorry. My son's not even going this week because. We say no all the time. What about every single time you go to Target, right? And they're like, would you like a red card and save blah, blah, blah today? And you're like, no, thanks. I promise you the Target cashier does not go home and they're like, oh my God, I should just quit my job at Target. Nobody wanted the credit card today. Everybody told me no. People hate me. I'm terrible. Now, you're laughing because, of course, nobody thinks that when you say no to the Target red card. But yet we do. You're like, oh my God, my friends aren't what I thought. And this, it has nothing to do with you 99% of the time. We don't know why they're saying no. And they also just might be saying no, not right now, because you said, I need a show for March. What they might say is no, but then if asked again, they might say yes in May, or they may say 2 sentences later, I could have something, in April or even May. I really need to have it outside. Could we book something in June? Pencil it in. Pencil it in. So please don't become upset or feel bad about getting a lot of no's. It's just part of sales. If you've never done sales before, it's going to be a little yucky in the beginning, that part, but you'll get used to it. And generally the rule is 1 in every 10 will say yes. So here's the thing. It might take till number 9 or 10's phone call to get the 1, but it might also take till numbers 27, and then you get 3 yeses in a row. So you could get 26 no's in a row, and then 27, 28, 29 all say yes. So, however, if you do get like to 15 no's, call your leader. Maybe we need to fix a little something. So before you go through every single person you know and then hope you're getting a yes, let's tweak what perhaps you're saying. So just don't take that no personally. All right, so these, as I've laid out for you, are pretty much the steps to getting launch started, to getting launched successfully. You have tons of support. We have a big, huge document that we call the Sparkle document. I'll show you where it is on my team page, but it will also be in a similar place. Those of you that are in other organizations within the Mary Grace team. So, but we keep it at the top of our team page, which is called Shine On. Which, can you believe that it's not like stored here on the side? Okay, so anything super important is in the announcements. So you'll see that there is this called the Sparkle resource. Every training video, document, anything you could ever want to know is in here. So if you still need to choose your kit, you're going to play this video, Choosing a Smart Kit, which advises you on how to pick jewelry that's not just what you like, but what will show a nice range of things. When you're ready to start entering orders, you're going to watch one of these videos, open it up on your phone or iPad, but sit at the computer so that you can do a couple of steps, pause it, and continue on. So that you're able to kind of Netflix yourself here in terms of training. And if you like to stay up late and watch stuff, stay up late and watch it. If you're an early riser, if you're a commuter, if you want to listen, if you want to watch on the train, whatever it is, we are ready for you. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I'm going to stop the recording.